The realistic movie paradigm. A lot of people say movies aren't realistic. There are a couple of problems with this critique. One is they don't need to be realistic, at least from a free market perspective. People make movies. People buy movies. Movies provide a value to people. For many, that value is a series of emotions they wouldn't otherwise feel, particularly melodramatic romance stories. You can't exactly experience the emotions of falling in love every day. So for many that enjoy those sappy movies, there are many legitimate reasons beyond needing them to be realistic. There is a much deeper problem with that label of them not being realistic. This implies the main ingredient of a movie is for it to be realistic, as if movies are supposed to validate what we think about the world. But what if movies aren't supposed to be realistic? This isn't really a grammatically accurate label. Supposed to be. Saying that movies are supposed to be realistic is kind of like saying food is supposed to be healthy. The guy making and selling the food only cares if it sells. The people buying the food all have their own reasons. And for most people who buy food, health is the least of their concerns. But back to that issue of supposed to be. Supposed to be according to who? Way back in the day, stories were told around the campfire. And believe it or not, this was still a free market for storytelling. Old dudes who told stories to young kids. And when those young kids grew up, they retold those stories to the next generation. Now, how exactly did they decide which stories to retell? How to retell them? Was there some imaginary story god in the sky telling them how they were supposed to retell the stories? Probably not. They retold the stories they liked the most. They retold the stories they enjoyed the most. They retold the stories that helped them the most. Helped them how? When they were faced up against a huge animal they had to kill. If they didn't kill it, everybody would starve. If they got killed by it, well, they're dead. But if they did kill it, rock star sex party for the killer. Consider that they retold the stories that best helped them to live their lives. Stories that had the best heroes, the most inspiring heroes. Here's the best part. Suppose you watch a few movies looking for inspiration. Maybe a few role models you can imagine helping you in times of need. And you find most movies lacking today. What then? Make up some of your own. Spend some time building your dreaming muscle. Create a fantastic future for your life and imagine it a few years out. And let that be your motivation pulling you forward. To learn how, visit mindpersuasion.com/3x3.